Hey, aloha folks, and welcome to the Klipper Golf Course. Today, I have the pleasure of being here with Brian Morgan. Hey, Brian. Thanks for being on the channel.
Appreciate it.
Hey, Brian is the Mizuno representative for the state of Hawaii as well as part of California, right? What's your territory over in California?
Northern California, San Francisco into Monterey area. So kind of the coast. A lot of water in my territory.
Nice. Okay, so anyways, we're standing in front of the Mizuno Fitting Cart. It's a brand new fitting cart. Mizuno had a great fitting cart prior to this, but this is an upgrade. And Brian, tell us, why did we move in this direction?
Oh, the main reason we wanted to give a much more visual look for your members and customers to see what we have, but we really wanted to add and make this a full fitting cart. Previously, really all you could do was irons. This, we still have the best iron fitting with our shaft optimizer to find the proper shaft for every customer to deal with. But now we have the addition of wedge fitting, multiple lofts fitting with each head. And then we added our wood fitting in this with new wood shafts, fairway wood shafts and hybrid shafts to make it a complete fitting system. We can fit your entire bag from start to finish for you with this.
And we did a video a long time ago about the shaft optimizer. But this shaft optimizer is quite a tool, and you can utilize this to fit for all of the components, correct?
By using the shaft for 3 fits, it's going to recommend shafts for your irons, your wedges, your woods. It will help you do loft fitting for wedges.
Wow.
It'll help do a ball fitting and gap fitting so that we can properly fit the set makeup for each individual. Where do we need to stop doing an iron and go to more of a hybrid design style to be a more friendly club for that player to round out their bag based on performance, not price.
Right. So you can use the shaft optimizer, and I know that it's 3 swings, right?
Correct.
And then based on the platform that you were sharing with me on the device, you go ahead and it will tell us, you know, what shaft, what head is best for the wood, the hybrid, the fairway, as well as the irons. Correct?
Yes. It'll break. The main thing is what it's doing is taking the swing profile of each individual player and breaking down the shaft profiles and how they fit that player the best, so that we're getting it based on performance, once again, not price. So virtually every shaft in here for irons is a no upcharge shaft other than steel fiber. Because once again, we want performance dictating your set, not price. So, and nothing in here is a Mizuno only. They are all top line shafts that fit the player the best way. So it's finding that proper setup for each individual player.
Right.
Yeah. Let's make the game more fun for them.
No, it's great. Yeah. And you know, and so this shaft optimizer, I mean, really, within about, you know, get warmed up, hit a few shots, all within 15, 20 minutes, we have the data captured in the device to outfit a customer with a brand new set of clubs.
Right. It's going to tell you in those swings what shafts, what lie angle, which is pretty amazing to do a board, and then what's your loft potential? Where's the most loft you can effectively play in an iron? Now we can really set up that bag based for that player.
That's neat. And you know what? You know what's really cool? You were sharing with me earlier about the loft threshold. Is that right?
Yes, loft threshold.
Okay, so listen to this, folks. Tell us about the loft threshold.
Because loft threshold nowadays, as clubs continue to get stronger lofted, players, based on how their swing speed is, how they release it, and they attack the golf club, there's a threshold of where they can effectively play an iron. That could be 27 degrees, 22 degrees. That system will now tell us where they can play effectively, and that will break down in a set makeup. What's the longest iron we can put in that bag that they can have the most fun playing with?
And then folks, going to cut in here real quick, but we had that one video, I think it was a short, where we were talking about how when you hit your irons, it hits the green, it rolls over. This is exactly what he's talking about. That loft threshold is going to tell you what is the longest iron you can afford to play and have it land and stop on the green, and then you transition into hybrids.
Correct. Something a little bit more playable for that player to launch the ball and keep the gapping consistent. That's the big thing. So we don't want that player to say, I got a huge gap between this and this, or this club doesn't go as far as it needs to be the right gap for that. So that's what our system is.
And no guesswork.
Right.
This is hard data.
It's all right there. It's proven data. We've spent thousands of hours and manpower with what we've We basically logged in over 500,000 swings, DNAs, to create this system with different heads and the different shafts to fit the right profiles for everybody.
And this shaft optimizer is dead on, and I know this because while I'm not the greatest player in the world, I've been playing golf for a long time, and I kind of know what shaft I like and what usually performs best for me. I use the shaft optimizer, and wouldn't you know it, those shafts pop up on it. So I tested it on myself. I tested it on my pal, who's a much better player than me. He's a PGA professional. Same thing. Right. So this is a good piece of equipment.
Yeah, we use this tool just from a tour player all the way down to a high handicap, because this is the engine.
You use this for the tour players as well?
We have these on all of our tour mates.
So
they test it. We get all that feedback from them too, because and been surprised where sometimes we've taken a guy that's been playing the shaft for a long time, and all of a sudden by doing this we find a shaft that performs better even at that level.
That's crazy. I didn't realize that.
But yeah, that's why we start every fitting with the shaft, because that is the engine of the car. No matter what head you're going with, if we have the wrong shaft, you're not going to play as well as you can play.
Wow. Okay, so we've got the fitting cart, we've got all the components, we've got the wedges, we've got the irons, we've got the hybrids, the fairways, the drivers, all the shafts to match, the shaft optimizer to do the fitting for us. Tell us a little bit about the lineup.
Okay, so right now in the irons, we do two models. We do our JPX series and our Mizuno Pro series. They're not basically a handicap level. They're based on the performance of what the player likes in terms of the visual look. JPX does have a little more modern technology to it. It's more ball speed numbers. Mizuno Pro has still a very traditional look. And then we've added this new S3 with our signature for the player that, I don't want speed tech. I want a club that's going to perform in my hand, distance, workability, all the feel feedback. So usually a better player, but they don't change clubs that often. So this is a new club that's going to actually be in the line for 4 years.
Nice.
That player can go through a set, replace it. Our tour guys love this because they don't like changing clubs every year, every couple of years.
Right.
They like to keep something in the bag they know how it performs. So that's why we've added this lineup. We'll continue to add more to that. And then for the player who's looking for distance forgiveness but consistency, our Hot Metal series, we have 3 models in the cast series called the Hot Metal HL, which is a higher launching model for players that have that loft issue. Once again, can't launch the ball as high with these new modern loftings. The high launch will help that player. The Hot Metal is your distance, forgiveness, playability, and the Hot Metal Pro has all that technology, but just in a little more of a player profile, a little thinner top line, a little less offset, thinner sole. And then we just introduced the new JPX Forged.
Right.
It's the first time we've been able to take a forged golf club and really match it up in terms of what we do ball speed wise and technology wise with the Hot Metal.
Nice.
And in this new process, this is a one-piece forging. The back piece is off in the forging process. We do the full forging, and then we have a very new technology where we do a very slow press in the face, which gives us variable face thickness around you for higher ball speeds.
Nice.
To put the back here. So of all the clubs that are out there that are labeled forged in the player's distance, this is the only one that is effectively a full forged golf club from the hosel all the way to the toe. But we're still getting higher ball speeds, and you're going to maintain that consistency and great feel that you would expect from a Mizuno golf club.
Right.
So this is very exciting. It comes in the new satin finish and also a gunmetal finish that looks amazing.
And what I thought was real interesting and about this club you were sharing with me was how you said some of the irons, the longer irons, are chromoly.
Correct.
And the shorter irons are carbon steel.
So in the irons where we're trying to generate more distance, the chromoly being a little bit stronger material, we can go thinner without losing the consistency part.
Yeah.
And then when you get to the clubs that you can't really do distance control with your 8-iron down, we go back to that fully forged carbon steel, similar to exactly how we do this for more feel.
Right.
So you're effectively getting a combo set into one. The distance, the forgiveness where you need it, but that workability and feel and feedback where you'd expect it, especially on a Mizuno club in your scoring process.
Right, that's quite a set. That's quite a set.
Yeah.
So you have the 2 different, I guess, lines, right? You've got more of the blade or the player type profile, and then you move into the game improvement. But it kind of has a little overlap.
A lot of crossover because players like different looks. So like, talking once again about this club, the Forge and our Mizuno Pro 245. These 2 clubs, I could see a lot of players, and I've already seen players comparing these 2 side by side, and really going to come down to they might visually like this more blade style look, but this is a hollow technology. It's got a lot of forgiveness.
Right.
But these 2, this is a little bit more launch forgiveness, maybe has a little more forgiveness heel to toe.
Nice.
So, but I could see a lot of players, and I've already seen it, both testing these side by side. And it comes down to what they visually like the look of and how they like to dress. So you're going to get that crossover because people do like different looks.
Right.
And we've always had the perception that Mizuno is a lower handicap player. Yes, we make the grade for that, but we have the most advanced game improvement series also that a lot of players don't understand how good we are with there and what our numbers are with those.
Well, I was sharing with you earlier that I had used the shaft optimizer for a customer. You know, sorry Mizuno, but I borrowed it to use it.
I encourage that all the time. Use it, make your life easy. Yeah.
But you know, I had to match it up with one of the heads that was most comparable to brand X. And wouldn't you know it, at the end of the fitting, chose Mizuno. So
we've always believed strongly on when we get hit, we win.
Yeah.
We're not going to outmarket any of these other companies, but the feel of our club is second to none. So when people get a chance to experience it, they're kind of blown away if they've never tried a Mizuno before. And, you know, that we have an offering for pretty much every single player out there, which is what I always want to stress, is that still so many people, even in the industry, think all we do is that low handicap player stuff. But this is really the most decorated long iron forgiveness series of pretty much anything else in the market.
Well, and when Brooks Koepka was playing the Mizuno club, he was in a JPX head.
Right.
And at the time, he was winning major championships, right?
When we brought the tour, that was the idea, was try to get some of the young guns. They were used to a more modern look than the traditional look.
Yeah.
So by bringing that club in, we had a lot of success with players that weren't even under contract. Played that head because it appealed to them, but it had that great feel. It had the Mizuno feel and performance to it. Nice. So we had a number of players win without a contract with that golf club. Right. That is now morphed into the new S3 iron I was talking about earlier. That is the new modern version.
Yeah, that is so beautiful.
Yeah, we moved that because, once again, those players don't like to change clubs that often, 4-year life cycle. Plus the tech, if we moved there, it was kind of almost to be set on an island. So it fits great in that new signature series for that series. So that player's still there for it. You know, and like we talked earlier about the woods, you know, we've done something very aggressively with our wood program.
Yeah.
Like I said, we're never going to market our way to a higher market share. That's not what we do. We build it into the process. So we've taken our, you know, tour-proven, tour-winning line of the Mizuno STZ series woods with our Cortec chamber.
This club is being played on the tour right now.
Correct. The Max played from a few corn territories. Grayson Murray, who won the Sony last year. He played our X driver. Keith Mitchell has been the #1 driver on the tour in terms of combination of distance and accuracy. He plays our Z. Ben Griffiths. A lot of players play it. This is the same. We don't make a tour driver and a retail driver. But instead of coming out with another new driver, like a lot of our competitors do, we decided to stick with our current proven technology. But we lowered the price. We want to make this a more playable. That's what we're going to get people to understand what Mizuno does and experience the Mizuno driver. Is that this driver that was originally $499 is now $299 retail. We added all new shafts. Most of the shafts that you find are here. If you want to reshaft your current driver, you pay about $200 to $250 just for the shaft.
Yeah. Okay. So this is big. Let's expound on that a little, folks. Listen to this. Okay. So what Brian is saying is a lot of times you go into a driver and you see an aftermarket shaft on the driver on the shelf, but it really is not. It is a shaft that is made for that company. In this case, what Brian is sharing is that this is a real deal shaft, right?
Correct.
And it's not being marked up. It's being offered as a stock offering.
Correct. We want to, even though we've given this a more pleasing selling price at $299 for people to try, we didn't cut any corners. We added this to the fitting cart. It wasn't in the fitting cart before.
Right.
When it was $499, we didn't have the option to put it in the fitting cart. We didn't just stick with what we had. We added all new shafts as another option so that we could still custom fit this to the best performance for $299.
And so the customer who purchases this club takes advantage of the fitting. And by the way, we do complimentary fittings here for all customers who place an order. So if you're coming here to order a set of clubs or order a driver, we will fit you for that club and we will not charge you anything extra.
That's awesome.
But the person who gets this done is now going to be playing a driver, the same stuff, to their spec that's being played out on the tour.
Absolutely. And comparable to anybody's club. I mean, not everybody wants to be in the new pricing. This is going to give you an opportunity to try something new, have it fit to you, and have a price that might be better for you to play with.
Great value. And on top of that, when you shop military, Mizuno shows us some love for being a military account, and we pass the savings along. So Heck of a value. Probably one of the greatest values out there.
So driver $299, the fairway woods are $179.99, and the hybrids are $159.99. All those have the new options with shafts, full fitting, adjustability for different lofts and lies on all the products that way. It's just, you know, something we know that we're doing to build that product for us, and it's working very well. And people are starting to get serious that they see what we're doing with woods is equivalent to what they've always thought we did with irons.
So great value, very versatile, tour proven.
Correct.
And all the real deal shaft options.
Yeah, nothing in here is skipped on in any way, shape,
yeah.
form. And for the player that likes, we were talking earlier about Ventus, which is probably the most popular shaft on the tour right now.
Yes.
We do offer Ventus shafts for these at a $250 upcharge. So you're selling a tour proven driver fitted to you at $550. With anybody other company, it's a $350 upcharge. So just a lot of value to get you the right performance, not based on price.
Nice. Yeah. Well, Brian, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Today.
Absolutely. Appreciate it.
Hey, folks, come out and see us. You know, Brian just shared with us how diverse this cart is, and we've got the shaft optimizer waiting here for you. We'd love to fit you. We'd love to sell you a set of clubs. Come out and see us at the Klipper.
Give us a try.
All right. Aloha.